Good morning, everyone. The Chief Executive will first speak before answering questions. Please limit the number of questions to no more than two when you ask your questions. Chief Executive, good morning, everyone. Next week, we'll see the first commercial and financial mega event for the first event this year, which is the Asian Financial Forum. It is co-organized by the Trade Development Council and the Hong Kong government. It takes place on the 24th and the 25th of this month. After full resumption of normalcy, this forum is to take place in a full physical form. Over 3,000 participants coming from different places will participate. We'll have financial ministers, officials, representatives of regulators, and business leaders. About 70 business delegations from the mainland and other parts of the world have confirmed to come. That includes Southeast Asia, Australia, Japan, Korea. It shows that it is a rather attractive event. There is a theme of this forum, which is multilateral cooperation for a shared tomorrow. This promotes multilateral cooperation. It will explore sustainable business approach and explore business opportunities. We have thematic speakers, Nobel laureate on economics, Professor Douglas Diamond, and world-renowned economists, the Chief of Sustainable Development, Professor Jeffrey Sachs. We also have participants from Asia and Africa. They are financial ministers, as well as management representatives from many different institutions. They will share their insight with different sectors in this forum. There is a special feature in this event. We have speakers coming from ASEAN and the Middle East. The number of speakers from the region has increased by threefold. This showcased our success in our liaison with these areas. Previously, we've only had 1 to 2 speakers from the Middle East. This time around, we have 8 of them. From ASEAN, the number of speakers has increased from 5 to 14. So we've seen the increase by several folds. The forum will touch on a number of hot topics, say, for example, opportunities in China, investment future, green finance, fintech, family offices, internationalization of renminbi, and the development of the GBA, Greater Bay Area. You can see from these topics that Hong Kong is an international financial center, and we have advantages. We may have challenges from an uncertain future, but we still have a very sound fundamental. For the first 11 months last year, the aggregate deposit stands at $16 trillion, an increase by 4.1%. The annual growth will be about 5,000. About 250 billion Hong Kong dollars has used the southbound trade to arrive here. So we see a net inflow of capital. We'll also seize opportunities on mega events. We'll make use of the forum to organize a number of activities. Say, for example, tour of the Palace Museum, harbor cruise using the junk, and open-top buses visiting various tourist attractions and catering outlets, as well as visits to Lang Kwai Fong. There are also guided tours at different places, as well as attending the marathon. We want our participants to feel the hospitality of Hong Kong and to feel Hong Kong's vitality and a colorful life. We hope that they will tell good stories of Hong Kong when they go back home to promote Hong Kong. The organizer will also make arrangements to visit the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the Hong Kong Exchange. Looking forward, in 2024, there will be a series of mega events. Say, for example, the second summit relating to family offices, East Asia Insurance Summit, and Global Financial Leaders Summit, FinTech Week. We will continue our liaison with different sectors in the financial sector. In addition, we will continue to organize many different international conferences. On top of that, we'll have other events to boost our economic activities in many different areas. We want to seize the opportunities of mega event business opportunities so that Hong Kong's economy will get another strong boost. Now we'll take questions. Please raise your hands. When you are selected, please identify your media outlet. Please don't ask more than 2 questions. The gentleman at the front. I'm from TVB. Good morning. My question is something that has been mentioned. That is, there is a possibility that before the Chinese New Year, there may be opening of border control points round the clock. What's the progress in relation to multiple visits and the expansion of the coverage of individual visit schemes? What's the progress? Regarding legislation of Article 23, when will consultation begin? How long will the consultation period last? We will actively talk to mainland ministries and commissions. We will explore ways to extend the operating hours of certain boundary control points or to open more boundary control points. We will also consider extension of various services to tie in with the change of operating hours of border control points to make it more convenient for visitors over the festivals. Negotiation with mainland commissions and ministries has been smooth. Well, both sides are positive. Once we have ironed out the details, we will make the announcement. We attach importance to the integration of the 2 places. Residents of the mainland and Hong Kong travel across the border frequently. This is the result of our work put in over the years to promote integration. This is the norm. And of course, we will put in place supporting measures. At times when we think that there is a high volume of travelers crossing the border during mega events or festive days, we will work out and flesh out the details. Once we have them, we will make an announcement. In relation to initiatives to increase the number of inbound visitors, especially those coming from the mainland, we are considering many different suggestions. Say, for example, increasing the number of cities covered by the individual visit scheme, as well as the relaunch of multiple visits. We will talk to different parties. When we have the result, we will immediately tell you. we aim at reaching consensus with mainland authorities. Your third question is about legislation for Article 23. When departments and bureaus are prepared, then we will start the process as soon as possible, but they need to be well prepared. We have faced risks, challenges, and harm, especially in the Hong Kong version colored revolution and black-clad violence in 2019. We understand the importance of national security. We understand that it will be unthinkable when national security is undermined. When departments are prepared and when they have the proposal, the legislation process will start as soon as possible. We look at approaches and wordings of legislation in overseas jurisdictions. They have similar legislation, and the legislation is acceptable. So we will take reference. We want to also ensure that legislation is forward-looking, which is able to cater for different emerging scenarios, especially given the ever-changing technology. So we will take reference of overseas approaches. We will legislate in the most effective way. And of course, we will listen to views fully. We will give you information about our proposal and the approaches of different jurisdictions. Some of these jurisdictions have just recently legislated for a similar piece of legislation.
Next question, the lady at the front on the left.
Questions from RTHK. Just to follow up on the multi-entry permit scheme. So you said you hope to have some sort of arrangements as soon as possible. Is that going to be is that something we can look forward to before the Lunar New Year? I mean, does Hong Kong have the capacity to do this in terms of transportation and accommodation? Will this lead to parallel trading problems again? And second question is about the solid waste charging scheme. So it's coming into effect from April. So what steps is the government taking to ensure that all walks of life in Hong Kong will be able to adapt to this? Are we on track to put this in place in April? Thank you.
Hong Kong, after it has resumed a normal travel with different parts of the world, it is of a big interest, I think, to everybody, particularly when we talk about our economic growth. Tourism is always a big proportion of economic growth. And in fact, the figures have indicated that they are showing very positive growth. But of course, there's a capacity constraint, as you have described. And we are, I think, effectively and progressing well to regain that capacity. And I think that happens to different cities as well. So we're doing better in some area, but we need to work harder also in some area. In order to attract more tourists or visitors from the mainland, of course, there are various measures that we are considering. But all these measures need negotiation and discussion with the relevant departments in the mainland. Of course, we want all these things to be decided as soon as possible, but equally, we will have to, in some way, take into considerations of the views and also the ideas of the relevant departments in the mainland. But there is I think, a positive common areas that we have shared, both in trying to have some decisions made as early as possible, because we think that people-to-people exchange works best for both sides. So we will definitely work hard, and at the same time, I'm receiving positive feedback from the departments we have been talking with. But of course, some details need to be ironed out, and I hope to be able to get some decision made ASAP so that we can tell everybody. And of course, in the course of doing so, we have to ensure that things happen orderly and things will be under control. We used to have a problem of parallel trading, but things also have changed. We will look at all potential threats and risks, that any new measures we take, that we will have to bear in mind to see how we will mitigate and control them. But I think the right attitude to take is not to be averse to all these challenges. We have to find ways to address and control them. And also the spending habits and the market situation have changed very much over the years. Online shopping, availability of a lot of products in the mainland, and also Hong Kong's, how we position ourselves as a shopping paradise. All these need to be examined so that we will plan our policies, strategies, and subsequent action in accordance with the new environment and the new normals. And all these will need to be worked out. Of course, the government will do its best to think of the best way to deal with it. But equally important is that all players in the market, whether it's in the tourism industry, in the retail business, in the catering, in also the service industries, all of us need to work hard to think of new ways to not just to ensure that we attract a lot of people to come to Hong Kong, but ensure that they have good experiences. So how our services, our attractions, and our way of ensuring that people do come to your shops to spend, and how to ensure that their experiences are good so that they will go back and tell people around them that Hong Kong is the place to come. So all these, the government will work hard, and at the same time, I hope players in the market in all these industries will also be as innovative as they always have been to ensure that we will be able to handle well all these new normals. In regard to solid waste charging, I have, of course, heard a lot about questions that have been raised in industries and of course by members of the public. So I have asked the Secretary for Environment and Ecology to ensure that the action plan has its details worked out and clearly explained to all relevant parties, whether it is in the management, estate management sector, in the catering sector, in housing sector, and or members of the public who need to buy all these charging bags. So all these information needs to be clearly explained, spelled out, and easily available to everybody. So they will work harder on holding seminars, doing press conferences, explaining whenever they can with different stakeholders, and also to work out good Q&As so that people can easily understand what their roles will be, the legal responsibilities are, and how things will work out when all these things are rolled out. This charging policy is an important policy to change human behavior. And we know it is full of challenges and uncertainties when all these new behavior needs to be in some way be carried out by everybody in the whole of Hong Kong. It is a cultural change as well. So all these things will be for everybody to take note. And I trust that everybody wants to have a better environment to live in, have a greener environment to live in. And this charging policy has been implemented in a lot of cities around the world, particularly advanced cities. For example, in a lot of countries around us, the solid waste has been reduced significantly as a result of this new charging policy. I think it is for everybody to pay attention to. And of course, the government needs to explain very clearly and very repetitively all the things that people of Hong Kong and people in different industries need to know about. So I think a big campaign has to be launched by the Environment Ecology Bureau. And of course, government as a whole will be taking part in the whole launching of this campaign. We will be hearing different views and suggestions, a lot of which actually arise because they may not have really understand very clearly the whole game plan. So yes, Secretary for Environment and Ecology will be doing a lot of work in this area. And we'll also be talking to different sectors, including district councils, including care teams, including people in the different districts, because we want people in all 18 districts to be able to know their roles, their legal duties, and how they work out together to ensure that we eventually will have this charging new policy being carried out smoothly.
時間關係，我哋解答今日最後一位記者嘅提問啦。
We'll take the last question. The reporter at the back. I'm from Singtao. Good morning. Following a question in English, municipal solid waste charging, you ask the EEB to enhance their publicity and have more publicity. But the Bureau has already said that there's been thousands of APIs and signs. So how many more press conferences and information kits is to be put in place before people will understand? For management companies, they will not pay for, they will have to take care of the designated bags. But without using these bags, the waste will not be collected. What are you going to do? In relation to legislation of Article 23, are there any difficulties that has been encountered that the proposal cannot be introduced in the first half of the year into the LegCo? Regarding municipal solid waste charging, it is a new scheme. We have heard many different views. We need to first make the details of the implementation clear so that everyone understands. We continue to do briefing sessions. We step up our publicity campaigns to let the public know that this is a major initiative. We understand that there will be new questions and problems popping up. So I've asked the Secretary for the Environment and Ecology Bureau to make sure that the details are known and understood by the public. Briefing sessions, APIs, publicity events and activities will have to be put in place to make sure that different sectors, including the catering industry, the property management industries, will fully understand what their roles are. The information should be disseminated in a clear, succinct way in order to reach the public. This is a new scheme that affects everyone. Everyone is in a different situation, and of course, there will be different areas of concern. The EEB will work with different departments to launch the scheme. So we'll continue with our work and we'll do it continuously. We will make a message short, sharp, and clear so that it will be easy to understand. Legislation for Article 23. I think that it should be done as soon as possible. But we need departments to be fully prepared before we start our work. Our proposal will have to be fully considered to make sure that it is forward-looking to cater for different scenarios that emerges from, say, development in technology or different situation. We'll also fully consider similar legislations in overseas jurisdictions, especially legislation that has been put in place recently. We want our proposal to be able to handle situations that we have not encountered but might emerge in the future. There is a strong consensus in the community to legislate to protect our national security. We've been through the Hong Kong version of a colored revolution in 2018. We have been seriously affected by risks that undermines our national security. We want to put in place a robust mechanism to protect our national security. So there is a strong consensus asking for the legislation. We want to carry out our legislative exercise in the most effective way. My stance is very clear. We need to do it as early as possible. We need to complete the process as early as possible because there is always a risk to our national security. The external environment changes every day, and hostile forces are still waiting for a chance to affect us. So we need to remove the risks as soon as possible. We want to ensure the overall security of Hong Kong because only with a safe environment can people feel safe to invest and to live in. So the earlier we complete the process, the better. That's the end of the press conference. Thank you.